Hello all, welcome back to Winter Does Stuff, where we react to some crazy stuff. It is a grand old time because it is snowing outside. Perfect timing because we are reacting to RWBY Dust Queen from the Grimm Tidings team. Now, Grimm Tidings and RWBY Dust Queen is a RWBY fan project. It is directed by Sai, who is, out of what I've seen, she's cool, she's awesome. I follow her on the good old Twitter. She's very much a White Rose fan, and it really shows. Which, you know, respect to that. There's a significant bit of editing, sound design, and color compositing from Mr. Smaller Soul, who I recently checked out the RWBY Volume 5 Redux series of. That ended with the supercut just on Monday. This is supposed to be uploaded the Wednesday after that. So, I know that there's a lot more people on the team. I can't, think of their names right now. I'll point them out as we go along, and I'll show the entire fucking credits, because this episode is about, like, by the looks of it, it's about like 11 or so minutes. But this took like a year or so to make, which is incredible. There's, out of what I've seen from the trailers, it feels very similar to the art style of RWBY. It's almost like a clash between the Maya and Poser engines, at least in terms of art style. It's got like the cartoony, more anime-esque style of the Poser era, but with the textures and shading and all that, like the fluid movement of Maya. I'm really interested to get into this. I'm really interested to see what it is. Soul has told me that I'm probably going to be pausing a lot. So, like, to analyze the little list of details, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm probably going to be noting things that I see, because as people know, or maybe you may not know if this is your first time here, I was the lead on an animation project for a good while, but that project unfortunately went under. But I've been applying those skills to pretty much all of my show reactions that I do here on the channel, as of the more recent ones that I've been recording. So yeah, I think I want to get into this. So I will see you guys at the reaction. All right, and we're here. This is RWBY Dust Queen, episode 1. I believe this is entitled Growing Pains. Again, don't really know what I'm gonna get into here. I don't know. I think this was stated to be like the fall of Beacon didn't happen. This is like year 2 in terms of the timeline. So I'm really interested to see, number one, the most exciting part of this to me is exploring like the group dynamics of Team RWBY, because we never got to see them in a second year at Beacon. So I'm really interested to see how that turns out. Lipton. But yeah, I think I just want to, get into this. Yeah. RWBY Dust Queen, Chapter 1, Growing Pains. Let's go.
Hey there! Dust Queen is a fan-based project and is not made for kids. Grown huntsmen and huntresses only. Check the description to learn more.
Okay. I assume that's the voice of RWBY. Much better than a lot of other fan projects. I have seen plenty of RWBY fan projects over the years, and that might be one of the best ones that I've heard. Again, I've said this before, but a lot of people shit on Lindsay Jones and their performance as RWBY, but I really don't think you can replicate that. Like, that's a voice that Lindsay made all their own. So, like, props to anybody that tries and even gets remotely close, but that's a voice that I don't think a lot of people can, replicate. We'll see how it goes in this. I saw the trailer. It sounded a little rough there, but this is quite a bit better than even that was. So let's 8 seconds in and we pause. So ooh, I love that symbol. The font is, you know, it's a font, but I love that emblem. That's really cool. Nice. Yeah, this is the danger of doing a project like this. Again, from the animation, pausing a lot, guys, already. From the animation that was in the trailer, this looks so good. I haven't even gotten into the actual episode yet, but it looks so crisp and clean, and it's, again, very similar to the art style of RWBY. There's an actual danger with this project because it looks so similar and it feels so similar, at least in appearance and in vibe. So I'm, again, interested to see how it fares, but yeah, glad that they put this there. I believe that Sai and Soul and a bunch of the others on the team reached out to Viz to make sure that this was in the clear. I don't think they ever got a response. At least I wasn't told that they did. But I hope that this is one of those projects that gets to keep going. Because, again, haven't even gotten into the actual episode, but it genuinely looks so good. I don't have to do this because Soul gave me the like actual like big boy file of it, so this isn't being viewed on YouTube. Hey, suckers.
You don't have to take everything on alone, you know? You have us.
You don't know what it's like.
Then tell me.
What's happening to you? I don't know.
We've got your back, Weiss. That's what family is for.
I'm sorry. This is something I have to do alone.
That looks scarily similar to the show. Oh my god. Wow, dude. Look at that model. Oh my god, this looks incredible. Again, I only saw it in the trailer / teaser that they put out months ago, maybe upwards of a year ago now. And this looks stunning. This looks so different. Again, another reason is probably because like this is the non-YouTube compressed file, which makes things look infinitely better. It's why the 5 Redux reactions look as good as they do, because I was using those that Soul gave me. But wow, this looks incredible. Just, it's so similar. Ooh. Wow, I'm gonna... Yeah, just... That first shot... Wow. Dude. There's so many effects going on. This looks insane. The wind in her hair. This is in... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, just... Oh my god. The details, man. And the sound design is incredible too. Soul does great sound work. Oh man. And this OST too, it just feels so... Whoa. This is a frame, by the way, guys. This is a fucking frame. Wow. And the immediate... The shadows over time during this bit as they go over her eyes. Ooh, whoa. What's happening with the leaf there? Yo, this looks incredible. Gotta love fan works, dude.
Ruby! Yang? Blake?
Ooh, that sounded just like Kara. That small Blake. That sounded just like her. Wow. What the fuck? What the fuck is happening, bro? What the fuck is happening in this show? Oh my god. So this is the other thing. If I recall, this is... I'm gonna try to... This is largely based off of an ages-old fanfic that Sai, the director of the series, wrote. But apparently this is kind of like Sai's second chance to tell a cohesive story that was supposed to represent. But I do know that, like, apparently like 75 to 80% of it has changed, like, completely, which is really interesting in terms of, like, a person going back to their older craft and thinking, like, I want to do this again, but suddenly realizing, oh wait, I don't want to do that again. So yeah, I'm oh man, this is so cool. This is so sick. I want to play her.
Ruby! Yang? Blake?
And the mannerisms too, the way Weiss's character acting movements are very interesting to me. They always have been, because it's a lot of her arms and shoulders. A lot of what she does is built in this specific area. It's like her tensing, and like she's been trained to be a very rigid person in body. And I always find it fascinating how everything it's mostly centered around here, and the way that her posture represents her mood overall always stuck out to me in the series. It's one of those things that I'm probably not even going to talk about in my like grander series review of RWBY, except for maybe in parts that I think are more relevant to like the key moments. But it's one of the reasons why Weiss is probably my favorite out of the four. So yeah. And it's why I'm excited for this series, because wow, we are pausing so fucking much. But it's one of the reasons why I'm excited for this series. I liked Ice Queendom. I did. But I feel like while there was a focus on Weiss, I don't think it really captured her character in the way that myself and a lot of others who adore Weiss as a character wanted it to. I think there were a lot of missteps in that series, and I think that, at least to me, I look at this as a chance for it to be that, because this is very clearly a Weiss-centric story in the world of RWBY. Like, just judging from that trailer that we saw alone, this is a very Weiss-centric story. Very creepy.
Ruby? Looking for something?
What the fuck? The glitchy? Why the fuck are you glitching? Whoa. This outfit is interesting. It looks like an armored modulation of her volume 4 fit, because this resembles like the over, well, maybe volumes. It looks like a cross between volume 4 and 7, because volumes 4 and 7 always had the corset, but they did have this like overcoat thing with the chest cut out. But I say volume 4. Well, no, now that I'm looking at it, I think there's like the opening for the skirt, and then I think these are like combat boots. So, never mind. This actually reminds me a lot more of 7, but without the fuck-ass braid. Sorry. I like Weiss's volume 7 and 9 outfit. I think it's good, but that fuck-ass braid just needs to go. Yeah, okay. Interesting model here.
Looking for something?
I also know that I think this is the creature, I think it's called. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But this has like 13 voices attached to it. It's like a crowd of 13 people, like their audio compressed into one voice, and it makes for this really eerie effect.
Who are you?
Never mind, it's just leggings.
You don't recognize us?
Wow. That's really fucking freaky. The detail of, I assume that's dust, like coursing through her, like through these cracks in the veins and all that. It's really cool detail. It almost looks like a lightning strike, but not like not red and dimmed. It's like the lightning always active. I really like the detail here. This is stunning. Visually, this is phenomenal. Really cool stuff. And now that I'm looking at it, it looks like a cross between the vibes of like the general figure aesthetic of volume 7 mixed with the accessory aesthetic of the volume 2, like the I don't remember what it was called, like the infiltrator fit that she used when she was going into the CCT to get like the Schnee company robbery files and that shit. It looks like something along that line too. Also, we got the belts, because it can't be anything that is anime inspired without some useless belts. Of course, we gotta have it. What a shot. That's so sick. I love it. It's all... Ooh. Okay, no, never mind. That's a sick shot. Oh, hold on. Yo! That little bit of overexposure once that lightning hits. Also, there was an impact frame in a like a lower budget indie. Oh man, what the way that the hair over here lights up is crazy. Yo, fuck, that's good. That's really good. Intro, yes. Look at them. Honestly, yeah, this screen, this little bit here this describes their dynamic very well. Ultra cold and composed, relaxed and kind of playful, haughty and checking that and just not caring. I like that they also included the different sock lengths. This was always like a very cool detail in the show proper. Yang's always went to like the mid-thigh. Blake's and Weiss's always went to just under the knee, and Ruby's were like all the way up. Again, I focused on the most minute of details to associate these characters with each other, so this is good stuff. Also, what I'm noticing is that, again, I was pretty apt in what I was saying. It feels like a cross between the Maya engine in terms of texture and detail, and Poser in terms of its more anime inspired style and look. And what this has uniquely going for it is the facial expressions. They're very... Sometimes you can definitely notice that they're a bit stretchy, but I think that really sets these characters, like these models, apart from the original, because a lot of what the original RWBY was is very wide eyes. These are very variable eyes, especially in this first section here with Weiss. The eyes weren't as clearly wide. Like it varies in their facial expressions, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. That's a great way to establish like this is a different visual identity in terms of its character acting than the series proper. So I'm talking so much in this reaction, guys. Ooh. No shadow figures? No shadow figures. We got... This is the other thing with RWBY, the original. There were a lot of, like, there were almost no characters with, like, unnatural eye and hair colors. Besides, I want to say Emerald had, like, a very unnatural hair color. And, like, RWBY has, like, the black with the red tints. But I can't really remember a lot of characters with very unnatural colors. This is fixing that. We have pink over here. We have this neon lime green. We got... These are the same character models. I see you. I see you, Grimm Tidings, reusing models when you feel like it. We got this, like, periwinkle blue over here. We got the, like, a purple twin tails over here. We got a Krona haircut over here happening with the lankier body. We got pink. We got a real hot pink over here. And we got like a, almost like a, we got Blueby with a ponytail. Interesting background stuff right here. Also, we have characters with more melanin too. Her right here. These look like very similar character models. They both have berets. There's actually one who also looks like the same character model, like 3 in one go over here. But gotta reuse assets when it comes to something like this. You can't have all different assets.
Why'd they have to do this so early in the morning? I'm so tired.
It's your own fault. You wouldn't be suffering half as much if you hadn't stayed up half the night playing games on your scroll.
Wow. Again, not easy at all to replicate RWBY. However, again, I don't know the cast names. I will have to remember them once we get to the end. But whoever is doing Weiss is doing incredible. This is a very Kara Eberly coded performance. The inflections are all down to a T, dotting the I's and crossing that shit. Wow. She's doing incredible. Okay. Yeah. I love this vocal performance. It's really good. I like that the light is painting her hair more as just red. It's a bit of a difference from the show because Ruby's hair has always been like black with the red edges and tints at like the fades. But I like that they're kind of painting it as like a really dark red, and when light shines on it, it is more redder, I guess.
Says the one who was last to wake up this morning.
That's not relevant at the moment.
Last to wake up this morning.
Wait.
Stayed up half the night playing games on your scroll.
I love the RWBY. They're just that's very RWBY to do.
Says the one who was last to wake up this morning.
That sounds comparable to Aaron. It's a little bit lighter than Aaron was in volumes 1 through 3, I think. Aaron noticeably was always very close to the mic when she was doing her performances. So she had a more noticeable fry at the end of her tones. Like she always had like something around this, but obviously, you know, me, I'm not Aaron, so I can't exactly replicate that. But I always found that to be an interesting part of her character because she was so like guarded, but she was so close to the mic that you could hear every little inflection. This is very much like a person who's sitting in front of a mic like this. You guys can't really actually see it, but this mic is a lot closer than it probably looks. It's only like it's maybe half a foot away from me right now. My mic is actually a lot closer than it's ever been in terms of me doing material like this. Yeah. But it feels more like the VA is doing it from this kind of a distance. And that also lends into the lighter tone because you can be so close to the mic like Aaron was. It holds a lot more of your deeper resonances. Those peak out more through being that close to the mic. So yeah, just I want to judge the show based off of its own merits. However, what I do want to do is I want to, especially with these characters, I want to analyze like what makes these actors different from the traditional RWBY cast so that I can find a way to do what not a lot of other people do with fan projects and learn to love these performances based on their own merits that are not the merits of the original cast. It's what I love to do with fan projects and like fan novelizations or what have you. I always try to pick up on what the author is trying to do with these characters and what the voice actors, if it's a thing like this and like a full-fledged project, I love to analyze it so that I can judge it based off of its own merits. So
That's not relevant at the moment.
Wow, I haven't seen some of these guys since initiation. I guess time flies when you're having fun.
This is the one I was worried about. In the trailer, hold on. Very similar to RWBY. Barbara's voice, or very similar to Lindsay with RWBY. Barbara's voice as Yang is so distinct because it's literally just Barb talking. And that lends itself, that, like, Barb's natural cadence has always been very bright. And she's another character that I don't really see a lot of adaptations in terms of, like, voiced stuff nailing particularly well, because it does very similar again to RWBY. Barb has a very distinct cadence that not a lot of people can replicate without their voice going, because she's a very loud personality. Even when she's in her more somber moments, she still has this very alive tone to her voice that not a lot of people do. Again, gonna judge it based off of its own merits and see what they're trying to do, but this Yang seems to be a little bit more mellowed out in terms of the voice. Like, it has actually a register more akin to Aaron's in the original volumes 1 through 3. Hold on, let me...
I haven't seen some of these guys since initiation. I guess time flies when you're having fun.
It also feels... I don't know, there something about it feels almost unenthusiastic. There isn't enough power behind the voice. That'll be something I keep track of during this. But already I can kind of tell that I don't know if I enjoy the performance just in those lines. You gotta establish characters with opening lines as establishing voices for characters. If that doesn't work, the audience doesn't necessarily have a place to draw from. Like, if that conflates with another line later down the line, with the, like, second or third or fourth or what have you, it's very important to establish a character's voice very early. And I will admit that the line delivery, and even that line, those two lines, haven't seen these guys since initiation. Time flies when you're having fun. That's not really a Yang line, at least to me. But again, I'll see where it's going. I will judge based off of, again, own merits. But right now, I don't feel like that is as good of an introduction to Yang as we could have gotten.
Risking our lives to take down entire criminal organizations is your idea of fun?
What can I say? I live for the adventure.
Uh-huh.
Let me...
At the moment?
Wow, I haven't seen some of these guys since initiation. I guess time flies when you're having fun.
Risking our lives to take down entire criminal organizations is your idea of fun?
What can I say? I live for the adventure.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Good. Weapon nerd Ruby. Weapon nerd Ruby. Love that. Also, Xemnas hair and Xemnas hair 2. Again, same character model, different features in very close quarters. Bit iffy on that. Like, it's the exact same hairstyle. It's the exact same model. It's just different colors in the hair and the eyes, because blue eyes, yellow eyes, pink hair, or like whatever that color is, it's pink. And then yellow, like golden hair. Not sure if background details, they're my thing.
What?
That's a Damascus-tipped spear! Oh, that's so cool!
It's just a spear, Ruby.
Just a spear? Do you know how long it takes to make Damascus steel? Like, forever! It's made of super...
I don't see Team Juniper anywhere.
Just a spear, Ruby.
Just a spear!
Her taking that as... Yes, Ruby is a weapons nerd. However, this is something that I was afraid of. A year 2 story for Team RWBY, like where the fall of Beacon didn't happen, is dangerous territory. Specifically because of the fact that we don't have a basis for that. All we have is a basis that was never fulfilled. Like, we never saw anything like that. So a lot of people rely on the same standard dynamics of the team that we saw, especially in volumes 1 and 2, because those were like the foundational Beacon era days. We didn't get a lot of RWBY interaction, like the Team RWBY interactions, admittedly, in volume 3, because that was where the scope started going. So if we're focusing on a year 2 story, those relationships and dynamics need to develop. And especially this conversation between Weiss and RWBY feels very year 1. If anything, it feels like very week or month 1. It's like Weiss being more no nonsense to RWBY. I don't like that. Because it's very clear, especially even in like mid to late volume 2, that Weiss has grown used to RWBY's antics. And here, especially because RWBY's big thing has always been like being a weapons nerd, Weiss should be used to it by now. She shouldn't raise her eyebrow or anything like that in some kind of confusion or disdain or what have you. She should be like, yeah, that's what that is. That's a common criticism I have with a lot of RWBY things that take place where like the fall of Beacon doesn't happen, or it's an AU where some things are different with the Beacon setting, and I don't know. It's a me thing. I'm not gonna dog on it too much. I just feel like the dynamic should be more built than that. I think there should be like a bar that was passed a long time ago, especially if this is a year 2 setting.
Do you know how long it takes to make Damascus steel? Like, forever! It's made of super...
I don't see Team Juniper anywhere.
They're probably in here somewhere. Knowing Pyrrha, they were probably one of the first to even get here.
Well, they better be. Look.
Lighting shifted very unnaturally there.
They better be.
I would have liked to see a shot where the lights in the auditorium dim, because that cut is very jarring. That's just me, though. We got a lot of people in berets. Like, we got a lot of berets.
Look.
May I have your attention, please?
That is very similar to Kathleen's performance as Glinda, not gonna lie. That's a decent impression. Also, we'll see.
You will be tasked with taking on a mission by yourselves as a team, without the supervision of another huntsman or huntress. The available tasks are presented on the mission boards around the theater. Choose your missions wisely, students. This will be your first hunt without help, which means we can't guarantee your safety should something go wrong. These missions will also become a part of your final grade for this year. So please, try not to get in over your heads.
Interesting that we got nothing from Ozpin there. Also, I like that they kind of acknowledge that we're probably not going to have very much of Juniper in this. Nice little lampshading on that, as to not have people go, well, where's Team Juniper? They said it was probably that they're here, so.
Finally! Now we can take on all the cool stuff.
Yeah, and Osmond won't have to bend the rules this time. Come on, let's go see what's left.
Maybe this time we can have a normal hunt.
I don't think our team understands what normal is, Weiss.
Normal is boring anyway. Now, let's see.
Ooh, what about...
We've got interesting team dynamics here. I don't want to harp on it for very long, but this feels like year 1 still. Maybe it's not quite year 2. Maybe it's the end of year 1. Like, this is after the Vital Festival and in, like, the final week or, like, the final month of classes. Maybe that's me being too optimistic. Because I don't think that this should... Like, if this is year 2... I know I said I wouldn't harp on it, but that bothers me. That greatly bothers me. Sorry. Really sorry. That might bother me.
This one. Recon. Suspicious figures seen in the night stacking boxes on an abandoned refinery site.
Forget that. Look at this one. Giant squid Grimm a few days out at sea.
Pass.
Why is his eyes? That's something that that was only in like volumes 1 and 2, where we would get like super anime expressions of like the eyes just go into black slits. Love that these two are recoiling in that way, where Ruby's just kind of not fucking caring. So nice lamp shading on that.
Okay, then...
Also,
Pass.
I love the ears beneath the bow. I like that they're working with that already. And then flipping up when she says, that's cute, that's adorable, that's great.
Okay, then how about this one? It's another search and destroy mission.
Growing pack of beowulf spotted south of the Emerald Forest. Aid requested ASAP. Now that sounds like fun.
That sounds far too...
Did ASAP. Now that sounds like fun.
That sounds far too good to be true. Any huntsman would be able to deal with a pack like that.
Maybe we just got here first? You know, early bird gets the worm? Or the wolf? Wolves?
How big of a pack?
Doesn't say. But they're just beowulfs. Live our teamwork? How hard could it be?
Hopefully the teamwork is good for a year 2 story. Sorry, I hate, but like the team dynamics just don't feel year 2. This doesn't feel year 2. This feels year 1. Oh shit! Okay, getting right into that. As soon as I heard the drums, I was like, "Oh yeah, baby, we're gonna get into a fight scene." Also, this stance is very Yang, just very Yang stuff here. Sound design is on point. Nice long camera shot there. Yeah, that...
Our teamwork? How hard could it be?
This is one long continuous shot, and it is great. The spin around of that into Weiss impaling it through the throat. Jesus. Hell yeah. And then to Blake throwing it into there. That was a nice longer shot. Yep. Hell yeah, dude. Using those very nice choreographed stuff. Ooh, that was a great shot. That's a great shot. I like that. That pose and that angle for the scythe, very reminiscent of that final scene in Volume 9. Or that shot of Ruby coming out of the tree in Volume 9. Just the way that the scythe is framed is just fucking massive. Hell yeah, I like that. happen there? Ooh, just the impact of that shot. That's meaty, dude. Just yeah, just fucking blew its head off. Yep, Yang using other people as weight. That happened in well, not necessarily other people as weight, but that happened in the food fight scene where she's charging towards Ren. She used like the table in that very same way just to whoop over it. I know a little bit about the show, guys. Ooh, impact frames. Hello. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks incredible. Just gonna save that one. Cool. That's a great frame. Holy shit, that really sells the impact. That's why we call it an impact frame. That's really good. Ooh. Oh, wow. The hair animation on that. And I love... Oh, the transition is really good. Yeah, that's clean. That is clean as hell. Great stuff there. I love this camera shot too. This is something that was in volume 9 more so, like using the semblance as a momentary power up rather than, or like a whole, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not one massive blow that she deals to someone. It's more like the sporadic different strikes that land a little bit heavier. That was a volume 9 thing. Which, that is a good use of a year 2 story, like including that bit of detail. The music is really good too. I'm listening to some of these lyrics and the tonality of the singer. Obviously no one's going to be Casey, because Casey, one of my favorite vocalists of all time. But whoever is doing this, they're doing a really good job at replicating kind of the cadence. And the instrumental is landing pretty hard too. Ooh, wow. Individual blades of grass. Nice. Oof. Ooh, damn. Just like how they met.
Thanks for the save, Kit Kat.
Don't call me that.
Nice. I want to rewind this back to more of here because this is really cool. This is such sick stuff. The camera here, the slow-mo, it's very Monty inspired without being Monty. This especially, this like quintuple backflip that she does here is crazy good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that quad backflip into a leaping backflip is very Yang, very her athletics that she would be doing more than the others. Very character-oriented combat, which I like. Just fucking... I think she I think she split the jaw, no? Yeah, she splits the jaw. You can, I think you can see it fall off. Like, she just, that's brutal. That's some brutal shit. Love that we're getting impact frames. Cool stuff.
Thanks for the save, Big Cat.
Don't call me that.
Love the bumblebee crumbs.
Oh, come on. Don't be... Actually, hold that thought.
Interesting how we got... I loved like that first shot of everyone fighting, and now we're getting like the pairs and the partners. Cool stuff there. That shot, that's a good one.
Ruby, watch where you're going.
Sorry.
That felt like some very Volume 1 animation, I'm sorry. This bit right here. Like, how did that even work? How did that even work? Whoa, what happened there? Whoa. What the fuck happened there? Because the white is supposed to be a continue forward kind of thing. And it also, you know, depending on Weiss, as she deploys the glyph, turns it into a specific element, I suppose. But it shifting to black there, it's very similar to, like, it's that same effect of what she was doing in Volume 5, actually, when she tried to stop. It's supposed to act like as a bubble, but seeing as the ship was crashing down at such a speed, it didn't work. But that's supposed to be like a, kind of like a slingshot or a, like, rubber band. Like, it's supposed to be, like, it's supposed to be a bit, ooh, that's a broken rubber band. But it's supposed to be that, like, it's supposed to fling it back. That's the kind of vibe that I always got with those glyphs. And in terms of that, like, slowing it down. But this, when you put a barrel of a weapon there, that slings it back right in. That's a cool way to kind of hinder RWBY right now, but I wonder why that happened. Ooh, and because it's right there, because there's gears and pulleys there that do the extension of the scythe, that makes that unable to happen. Interesting. There. having it like reduce the frames. That's cute.
Chalk another one up for Team RWBY.
My poor baby.
Oh, the eyes.
You almost got both of us killed.
Wait, what happened there? Hold on. Turning into like snowballs as Weiss is approaching. That's a cute touch.
You almost got both of us killed.
I almost got us killed?
Maybe if you gave me the slightest hint of what you...
This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. With the year one dynamics and the petty arguments. This wouldn't happen. Please don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I'm sorry. Don't. This is so dumb. This is what explicitly should not happen in a year two scenario. They've grown past this. They've grown way past this. I'm sorry. This is a legitimate negative now. This kind of thing actually pisses me off. Don't fucking do this. Shut the fuck up with this. That's so annoying. I'm sorry.
We're doing, then I could have been better prepared.
I thought you were watching me.
I'm not psychic, Ruby. I don't know.
That she's me right now. She's done with this. Over a year. No. This shouldn't be happening.
Notice, but I was also dealing with Grimm.
Ladies, you're both beautiful.
You're one to talk. You and Blake have no issues working together. However, I'm stuck here with a dunce who doesn't even know how to use her words.
This shouldn't happen.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Really? Honestly, if that was the last comment here, that would be a great punchline, because the Zelda CDI, well, excuse me, princess, is a great... I assume it's not gonna be, because it is the common dynamic with Ruby and Weiss, but that's a great punchline to the end of this bit, if that was one.
Maybe if you didn't worry so much about your form, you'd be able to keep up with me.
What's that supposed to mean?
Also, yeah, we get to have the line, her line, but God, this is so stupid. I hate this. I hate the dumb, petty arguments. I want this dynamic between Ruby and Weiss to just die. I want it to die in a burning, cold, dispassionate fire. I do not care for this dynamic between these two. It's not good.
You froze Crescent Rose.
The consequences of your actions.
What? How is that my fault?
Clearly you don't understand the concept of communication.
Ooh, I love the background darkening around and the hair glowing.
Well, you don't understand the concept of listening.
That's more Ruby Chibi dialogue than anything.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
You make no sense.
Okay. Walk.
But
Don't make me repeat myself.
I like that. I like that she activates it not as like an outburst, but as a moment, like as a mom moment. It's funny because at least out of these three, she's actually the youngest. I believe Blake is born like February or March. Her in May. And then Yang is like July or August. So she's actually the youngest out of these three. But I like that she has like the mom mentality of like simmering down an argument.
So much for teamwork.
you know what? Well, excuse me.
You're excused.
No. Weiss, I'll have you know
Well,
that you
I still have Weiss's card if you want to book another counseling session.
That's a good line.
Give them time, Yang. They'll come around eventually.
they should have come around months ago if this is a year 2 scenario. It's so stupid. I'm sorry.
These can tell you something. Take it
I'm pretty sure eventually ended a while ago.
Yeah.
Pretty sure eventually ended a while ago.
Yeah. Nice lamp shading on the issue. But that doesn't save the writing. I'm sorry.
Come on. Let's follow them before they start again.
Yeah. You're right. Hey, lovebirds! Wait up!
Really fast. Lovebirds? No. You make it so sorry I didn't mean it.
The fuck you say? Okay. Decent first episode. We'll look through these credits. Also, we got the concept art like RWBY always does. Cool. Ooh, some Yang concepts. Okay, reflection-wise. Not as many. Hey, there's Soul. And Soul was a Beowulf. Creature noises. Yay. Interesting that Soul was... And it was a lot less voices than I thought it was. I remember there was like a casting call with a bunch of voices. I actually signed up for that. So... Okay, yeah, Abby Brenner is great. Tina Mickles doing a good job. Ari Thrash. The only one I think I can get used to it, but Zippy, who is voicing Yang, is respectfully, it needs a little bit of work. Again, I think I'll be able to get used to it as we get more of Dusk Queen, but right now it just doesn't carry Yang's cadence enough. Again, Barb's performance is very difficult to do, so I don't expect the exact cadence, but I think it needs a little bit more oomph in its performance. It's a very reserved Yang, and again, the line deliveries aren't as enthusiastic as I would like them to be. It's not anything that can't be fixed in terms of that. I think it just needs a bit more presence to earn itself as Yang while being different from Barb. We didn't get either of these two, which I like that it's Wandering Storyteller and Celtic Phoenix. Celtic especially is great at doing Roman, so I'm excited to see whenever the hell he comes in. And Wandering Storyteller, I can see being a good Ozpin, and Kenkoi as Glinda. Okay. And then we're gonna get our... Yeah, storyboard artists. Yeah. Yuri Pineda. Sai is all over these credits. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, like full-on storyboards. Hell yeah. Yep. There's camera and layout supervisor. There's Soul. Layout artist has Soul too. Yeah. All these people. You did a great job with the animation. The animation is generally stunning. Or generally stunning. Genuinely stunning. That's what I was trying to say. I assume that we'll get later down the line. Ario Line. Hell yeah. Look at all these people. This is 18 animators. Wow. I didn't think there were this many. I thought this was a much smaller team than it actually is. Editorial, VO. Wow. 3 very big roles there. Yeah. Render wrangling. That's a great... Yeah. Turn the page. Hannah Gable. Okay. Ooh. 7 vocalists. By the way, if y'all know, I'm a vocalist. If you need, like, male vocals for, like, a song, I would be happy to lend my services. Special thanks. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Aw, production pets. Look at all these goobers. Look at all these names. Hell yeah. Gotta love that blending. Okay. I like what I saw. Let's get to the post thoughts. Okay. Yeah. Dust Queen. This went over an hour as expected. This is what I love to do on this channel. I love to go into stuff and analyze as deeply as I can, as firmly as I can, right off rip. And this, there was a lot in this. For only like 10 and a half minutes of animation, there was a lot in here. Again, I found a lot of things to enjoy. I found a lot to like here. But especially the team dynamics, unacceptable. Genuinely. I cannot stand the like immature, petty arguments, especially in the Weiss and RWBY. I hate that so much. I think it's great for their characters in their beginning, but I hate it as like a fixed concept in their friendship / partnership, whatever the hell it may be. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's one of the few aspects of all of RWBY that I genuinely just can't stand. And especially in fan spaces, it's done too much. It's done way, way too much. But other than that, I think the voice acting was good. The camera work and just generally the animation is great. I'm intrigued by the story. It really doesn't set up much besides like that last stinger at the end, and like the bookends of the story are where this one has a lot of legwork in terms of its story. That middle section, besides those, like the last like 10 seconds there and that first minute or so, nothing really said much in terms of story. I will say that. But I am intrigued to see where this goes from here. I have been told by Soul that things get exponentially more interesting. I haven't been told specifics. He's actually told me that he literally can't tell me any of that. But I am curious to see where it goes. But yeah, this was really fun. Overall, I think I would give this, like, the team dynamics, drop it down like a full number grade for me. I think this would be like a solid like 8.5, 8.6 out of 10. There's some really compelling stuff here. Again, the reason I knock it down more than just that one point as, again, it's not much in the way of story. It's just getting familiar with the dynamics of these characters, which in my opinion should be more dynamic than they are. But it helps get back into the world. It, teases and some of that setup for later down the line. But it doesn't do much in the way of that. But what it does offer is very cozy, familiar 1 through 3 territory in terms of the vibes, which I can get behind that. I can get behind cozy V1 through 3 vibes from RWBY stuff. So, with all that being said, I don't really have any expectations for the future of this. I know that the tentative plan is like late this year or even 2027 for chapter 2. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But honestly, with the quality of this and like with all that, I wouldn't expect this until next year, or chapter 2 of it until next year. But yeah, I think that's going to be about it from me. So yeah, I have been Winter. We have reacted to Grimm Tidings and their project of RWBY Dusk Queen. This has been chapter 1 entitled Growing Pains. If you like what you saw here, leave likes, comments, all that happy jazz. I'm going to be talking, as I said, with Soul and Sai in the pretty near future here. So that's about it from me. Peace, everybody. In due time.